the Indian economy has been prudent in terms of its external sector management. External sector, where we talk of trade and FDI that is coming into the country. So if we look at the RBI bulletin report, the current account deficit has narrowed. And our forex reserves are at a very comfortable position. The last I read about it was they have exceeded 690 billion US dollars. So that is a very comfortable position for the Indian economy at the moment. And this, coupled with reasonable levels of inflation, very much within the target that we have set for ourselves, all this has added to the resilience that the economy is witnessing right now. So I think that's how I'll sum up.
Absolutely. As far as the Indian economy is concerned, we are in a bright spot. This is not something that India has been talking about. This has been something that, global agencies are talking about as well. Talking about external shocks, Rumki, how long can the Indian economy stay insulated from external shocks? Because let's not forget that we are an integrated world at the end of the day. We are all looking at trade between nations. We are looking at, disruptions of supply chains as a result of what's happening in West Asia, etc. So how long can we stay insulated, and what needs to be done to ensure that this trend continues for India?
Thank you so much, Frank. So I would like to add on to the points to what Niti already mentioned here. The fact that India has shown exemplary returns on capital is one point that I would like to suggest that shows how India has been insulated. So if you notice how the capital markets moved since September, of course there was a dip, but look at the rebound that we have seen in our capital market, and it is one of the strongest rebounds that India has seen among any other emerging peers. And if you index all the capital returns to 2019, if anybody had put $1 invested in India, the returns would have is currently at around $220, which is more than 2 times of what the investments had been. No other peer country, be it Brazil or China or Indonesia or Malaysia, none of these countries have given that level of return. So clearly, India has remained insulated despite pandemic, despite geopolitical uncertainties. The second is the fact that we have moved up the value chain in manufacturing. Even the fact that the government has been through PLI schemes, through different measures, reforms that in manufacturing should be pushed, our export component of high-end manufacturing goods has actually moved up. 10 years back, we were exporting only 17% of electrical, electronics, high-end manufacturing goods. Today, that number has gone to 32%, and the share of traditional goods have come down. So clearly, we are making efforts through innovations, through digitizations to move up the value chain. And the third point I would like to say is India is also changing its labor market narrative. Earlier, we used to say we are cheap labor market. Today, our workforce has the highest AI adoption rate. It's the Stanford Education Index that they have done a study about. India has the highest in the world, where the labor adoption for Gen AI is the highest there. So clearly, we are changing our narratives, and this momentum has to continue going forward, because that will ensure that we will keep our demand, workforce, as well as in fundamental resilience to the core, completely untouched from global market shocks.